From Philadelphia at my parents' house. I'm in town for the holidays. I'm going to talk to you guys about the playoff pictures coming up. And we're also going to talk to you about week 16. There are a ton of really, really good games this week, man. So we're going to talk about some playoff scenarios. Who's in? Who's on the bubble? Who's out? Let's talk about week 16, guys. We're going to kick things off. Houston Texans and the Chiefs tomorrow on Saturday. We got two games on Saturday. Texans, Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens. There's a lot of moving parts in this game. It looks like George Pickens is out for the Steelers. We're going to talk about this game first. TJ Watt has been banged up, but he's going to play in this spot. And then the Baltimore Ravens, they have a ton of injuries at the wide receiver position. Nelson Aguilar's out. It's a kind of merry-go-round at the wide receiver position for them. There's some injuries there for the Ravens. So who do I ultimately think wins this game, guys? Ravens, Steelers. I got to lean towards the Ravens a little bit in this spot. I think they're just better equipped to score more points. We've seen since Pickens went down for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the offense has really struggled to score points. Their offense is super predictable, guys. They just run the ball and then pass the ball to the tight ends. There's no one on that roster who's really stepped up as that potential number one wide receiver, right? DU, what's going on, bro? Yeah, Fields is not playing either. Everyone else on the offensive line looks pretty healthy, minus Troy Fautanu, the tackle. Where'd he go? He went to Washington, I think, right? And he's on IR. The defense, it says Deshaun Elliott's out. Dante Jackson, the corner, is questionable. But they look pretty healthy. Now, we're going to go to the Baltimore Ravens, check out that depth chart a little bit in this game. Rashad Bateman is questionable. It doesn't look like he's going to play either. So, Aguilar is 100% out. But I do like them getting that Devontae Walker involved a little bit. He's the wide receiver from North Carolina, right? He looked pretty good. He played with Drake May at UNC. Pretty solid guy. I would like to see him get involved a little bit more in this offense. Listen, if the Pittsburgh Steelers want to get healthy, they're really going to have to generate some more offense and figure out how we're going to score points, right? Their offense just has not looked good the last few weeks, guys. Not at all. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win this game between Pittsburgh and the Ravens. I'm going with the Ravens in this spot. The defense looks pretty healthy to me. I just don't know if the Steelers can score enough points, man. It's just like they scored 13 against the Eagles. They scored 27 versus the Browns. And then the week before, a few weeks back before that, they only scored 19 points. They scored only 18 when they beat the Ravens. This offense, to me, needs some more juice. Who's going to step up? That's why I like the Ravens to win this spot. 7 points is a little bit too much for me, man. TJ Watt is playing, so he's going to help in that running lanes for the Baltimore Ravens and Derrick Henry, right? So I just don't think the Steelers are going to be able to score enough points, man. I really, really don't. That's why I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. The other Saturday game, Houston Texans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. It looks like Patrick Mahomes is going to play in this spot, guys. Yeah, Sherry, I think Baltimore wins as well. I agree with you. Looks like Patrick Mahomes is going to play in this spot. They know they got to keep the pedal to the metal. They want that number one seed. There's 13-1 right now. If they win and go to 14-1, they lock up home field advantage for the playoffs, right? So this game is very important. That's why Patrick Mahomes is going to suit up. In the AFC right now, it's like the Kansas City Chiefs are number one. Number 2 seed is the Buffalo Bills. If the season ended today, they'd be taking on the number 7 seed, Denver Broncos. The 3 seed would be the Steelers. They would be taking on the Chargers at the 6 seed. And then the 4 seed would be Houston. They're going to be taking on the Baltimore Ravens. So there are some teams still alive, right? Cincinnati technically is still alive. So is Indianapolis. But for the most part, I think this AFC playoff picture is pretty clear cut to me. I don't think Cincinnati, Indianapolis, or Miami have what it takes to kind of get that juice through to win all 3 games. And then all these other teams like on the bubble would have to lose out. Right? So I don't foresee that happening at all. It's just going to be a matter of who's seated where. Can the Baltimore Ravens go up into the 3 seed or potentially the 2 seed? The Bills got to win this week to lock up the number 2 seed or better, right? So you got to like the Chiefs. Do they cover the point spread? I think they actually cover this spread. I know the Chiefs have not really been covering at all whatsoever, but the Houston Texans have been very, very bad on the road this year, and they're also a very heavily penalized team. And when you're playing the Chiefs in Kansas City, the offensive line hasn't been great. Yeah, Steve, I agree, man. I know Pittsburgh has their number, but I don't know. I know Tomlin always has a really good game plan against Baltimore, but I just don't know. They're probably going to have to win this game. The Steelers are going to have to hold the Ravens under 20 points, right? Pretty much. That's why I like the Ravens. But back to the Chiefs game. Pacheco's back. I think the Chiefs are going to start to roll again, man, in the playoffs. I like, as we get towards the playoffs, we're getting closer and closer. I think if the Chiefs win, they lock up the number 1 seed. So they're going to be playing, go Birds! Go Birds! Yeah, they're going to be playing to get that number 1 seed. I like the Chiefs in this spot. I think they want to play Mahomes now and then maybe rest him a little bit, guys. Cheers, everyone. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, guys. All right. Next up, we're going to go to the Sunday slate. Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Commanders. What's up, JJ? Yeah, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are just a little banged up. TJ Watt's not 100%. No Pickens. They've been pretty lackluster offensively. I don't know. Unless the Ravens get shredded by the run, I think it's the Ravens' game to lose. We got the Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Commanders. This game is in Washington, everyone. This is going to be a really fun game. Philadelphia Eagles playing some good ball. They haven't lost since the bye. Pretty remarkable stuff here, guys. Just rattling off wins. Browns, Giants, Bengals, Jags, Cowboys, Commanders. They beat them 26-18. I think it could be kind of similar to that, guys. Lots of wins. Rams, Ravens, Panthers, Steelers. They dominated the AFC North. And they end the year Commanders, Cowboys, and Giants. So, who do I ultimately think wins this game? The Philadelphia Eagles look pretty good, and they're pretty healthy right now. There's not, minus Bryce Huff, they're pretty much at 100%. So, yeah, Green Bay's at minus 14 this week, man. That's a big point spread, bro. You're gonna bet them and the minus 14. That's a big spread. Birds all day! Birds all day! Go Birds! Yeah, I mean, the Eagles look pretty good in this spot to me, guys. Even though they're on the road, 26-18 was the score in the first game. They really were able to limit what they did offensively. Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels didn't really have good games, so I expect that to be very similar. Yeah, Eagles-Bills Super Bowl would be dope! Give me that Eagles-Bills Super Bowl. What's up, Rio? How's it going, man? Don't forget to subscribe so you get all my NFL content. We do bets, but Bovada is not working today, guys. So if you're one of my members, the reason why I didn't put out the video today is because the Bovada website, because I'm originally from California, so I can't use the other sports books. Like, the whole website won't work at all. It sucks. So hopefully tomorrow it works. If not, maybe I can use my dad from Pennsylvania's DraftKings account and make some bets for you guys. But we'll see what happens. I'm hoping the website will be working sooner rather than later. The Commanders are looking pretty healthy too. The only guys that are questionable are Jeremy Chin and Zach Ertz. So both teams are pretty healthy, guys. I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they can cover the 3.5 spread as well. So if you're going to bet, I like the Eagles and minus 3.5. That's one of my favorite bets of the week, guys. That's pretty solid. I do like an Eagles-Lions parlay, too. That's pretty juicy in my eyes. Now we're going to move on. Lions, Bears. The Bears are just the Bears, guys. The Bears are the Bears. They're just so bad. The Bears are so bad. They just continue to shoot themselves in the foot week after week, right? So, who do I ultimately think wins this game? Ryan Bates, the center, is out. Left tackle Braxton Jones and Tevin Jenkins are both questionable. It's not looking great right now, guys. Jervon Dexter Sr. on the D tackle side, he is questionable as well. And Jalen Johnson, the very, very talented cornerback, he is questionable as well. Yeah, I talked about the Ravens a little bit, Rio. The Steelers are still without George Pickens, so I definitely think they're going to be very limited offensively. So I'm definitely going to go with the Ravens to win that game, in my opinion, right? I think the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts beef is just completely overblown by the media. But I do think A.J. Brown has to be smarter in what he says to the media and just blows all the shit way out of proportion. I think if there is an issue with the passing game, which there was, schematically, and straight up, Jalen Hurts was missing some guys. Some wide open guys and some wide open looks, right? Just talk to Jalen Hurts or the offensive coordinator behind closed doors. You don't need to go yapping to the media and stir up some shit. But it seemed to motivate Jalen Hurts a little bit because he balled out in that game against Pittsburgh. Absolutely lit it up, guys. So, I don't know. Maybe it worked a little bit. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going Lions over the Bears all day. It's not even close. Thanks, man. Cheers. Boop. All right, guys. Next up, we got another division game. Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals in 8.5. Given 8.5 seems a little too rich for my blood. I do think the Bengals can win this game. But, Braun, it's hard to tell about Bryce Young because they're not coached very well. They don't have a ton of weapons in Carolina. The offensive line has actually played pretty good. And minus last week, the last 4 or 5 weeks, Bryce Young has looked a lot better than he looked in the beginning of the season, right? What's up, Jason? Oh, man, the road trip was crazy, guys. If you didn't know, me, my dad, my wife, my daughter, and the dog, we road tripped from L.A. to Philly, 5 days, 4 nights. Yeah, we stopped by Vegas for a little bit, had some lunch. Then we went on to Zion National Park and stayed in Kanab, Utah for a night. Then we stayed in Denver for a night. Then we stayed in Kansas City, got some banging barbecue. And then we stayed in some weird hotel in Ohio and then finally Philadelphia. So yeah, long road trip on our part, guys, but we made it back to Philly safe and sound, so that's all that matters. So back to this Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals game. Man, the Bengals defense is so bad. I feel bad for Joe Burrow, man. Like, oh my goodness. That offense, that three-headed monster, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, balling, man. Absolutely balling. Yeah, I'm always trying to put out good bets. Last week, if you followed my bets, we killed it, guys. We had another green week last week. Absolutely killed it. Crushed it. I think the Bengals win this game. I don't know if I'm doing the 8.5 points. Jameis Winston got benched, so that's kind of a turd too. The Cleveland just sucks, man. Jameis Winston is either lighting it up or getting completely embarrassed. Dorian Thompson-Robinson is going to be starting for the Browns. He's not much better. I don't know. I don't even know if Jameis Winston's going to suit up. Just looking at their roster, Nick Chubb's on IR again. David Njoku is questionable. Shelby Harris, the right D tackle for Cleveland, is out. Martin Emerson Jr. is questionable. They're pretty banged up. I do like the Cleveland Browns defense a little bit, but I just think Joe Burrow and the boys are just too good, man. I think they're too good, too solid of a unit. I would love for them to get Orlando Brown Jr. back, man. He's questionable for the game. They really need to get him back and healthy because Joe Burrow has been putting up these great numbers with a very shitty offensive line, guys. Very, 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 very bad. Sheldon Rankins is out again. Sam Hubbard is out. So this defense is going to struggle again, probably. So if I bet this game, what I would do, I would buy another 1.5. for the Browns. Take the Browns and plus 10 at about minus 135, 145 range. So that's what I would do. I think the Bengals should win. I don't know if they cover the spread, though. All right, let's move on to this Rams-Jets game. Must-win game for the Rams. If we take a look at the playoff picture, they're currently the 4 seed. They could get out to the 3 seed and beat out Tampa Bay. They're not going to get to the 2 seed, to the Eagles. So they're competing for either the 3 seed or the 4 seed in this spot. So they also have to worry about the division, right? Very close division. Rams and Seattle are both 8-6, guys. Both 8-6. Rams are nipping at their heels at 7-7, and the 49ers are still alive at 6-8. So I'm going with the Rams in this spot. The Jets' defense has been horrific. Straight up terrible. Just really, 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 really bad. I can't really wrap my finger around why they're so bad. I think the Rams got this one, man. When you look at their team, they've lost 4 out of their last 5. They've given up 25, 32, 26, 28, and 31 points in their last 5 games. I think the Rams should win and cover the spread. The Rams are one of my favorite parlay pieces this week in a must-win game, right? They got to win. They got to beat the Jets in order to keep that lead in the NFC West. I'm taking the Rams in this spot. All right, next up, we got the Giants and the Falcons. This game's going to be hard to watch. I guess Tommy DeVito is starting at quarterback for the Giants. Man, the Giants are so bad. What a disaster the Giants have been this year, guys. So, you can't bet for the Giants, man. They've lost so many. It's so crazy. They started the season off, 2-3. Not terrible, right? And then, man, they just lost like 9 games in a row. Really, really bad. They've scored 14, 11, 27, 17, 22, 3, 18, 7 in their last 9 games. The offense is horrific. They're very, 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 very bad. So, do they have a chance against a Falcons team that hasn't been playing that good? And they're starting a rookie at quarterback. Is it going to be Drew Lock or Tommy DeVito? We'll have to see. It looks like it's going to be Drew Lock, according to ESPN starting. Yeah, Jay, they definitely suck. They're trash. Brian Burns is questionable. Bobby Okereke, he's out of the spot. Patrick Johnson, the other linebacker's out. They got tons of guys. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 guys on IR from defense. The Giants are a mess. But the Atlanta Falcons aren't much better. Kirk Cousins, I haven't seen him play this bad in a really long time, man. I just really haven't. I don't really know what to say. Michael Penix Jr. is getting the start, right? So we'll see. What's up, Rod? Yeah, the Lions are looking pretty good. Pretty good looking the Lions. I'm hoping that they can get healthy. All these injuries, man, are crazy for the Lions. Absolutely nuts. When we're looking at the Atlanta Falcons, there's no reason for them to be struggling this much. They look pretty healthy. But, man, they just haven't been winning football games. They've won 1 out of their last 5 games. Yeah, Rio, I try to. During the holidays, it's a little tough because I'm traveling. But during the regular season, I always like to go on Sunday night after the games, Monday night after Monday Night Football, and then usually after Thursday Night Football games. That's when I go live for the most part, those 3 days. But during the holidays, there's a lot of craziness going around, so I might not have time to do all those lives. But during the playoffs, I'm going to be going live a lot, live streaming all the playoff games, so we're going to be doing that all the time. Atlanta Falcons, 15, 21, 13, 6, 17. That's the points they scored in the last 5 weeks, guys. Not very impressive. And honestly, it's pretty pathetic considering they have all those really, really good players, man. If you take a look at their roster, they should be balling out. Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier look really, really good. At the running back position, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod, Kyle Pitts, pretty good offensive line with Chris Lindstrom and Drew Dahlman and Jake Matthews has been a staple there for a really long time. Go Birds! Go Birds! Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on in Atlanta. It doesn't make any sense. I think they win the game because the Giants just suck that bad. Hopefully Michael Penix Jr. balls out in his first game. He could be a lot of fun to watch. He was awesome at Washington. Him and, was it Roma Dunze, I think, went there. Killers, man. Absolute killers. Arizona Cardinals, Carolina Panthers. This is a must-win game for Arizona. They got to come. They got to ball out. They got to get Trey McBride a freaking touchdown. There's only 3 games left. And Trey McBride is probably the best tight end in football, and he has no touchdowns. The Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator is a joke. Straight up. Joker. I like Arizona in this spot. We'll have to see if Bryce Young can bounce back. So the last few weeks, before they got their asses kicked by Dallas, they were starting to look better, right? They were playing a little bit better football, playing more complimentary ball, just looking like an actual football team, right? You know? They lost 4 in a row, but they've been competitive. 22-16 versus the Eagles, extremely competitive. 26-23 to the Buccaneers. 30-27 to the Chiefs. Chiefs, Buccaneers, Eagles, all playoff teams, guys. So, and then before that, they beat 2 bad teams. They beat the Saints and beat the Giants. So, they played 3 quality playoff teams very competitively. Can they keep that up? Arizona has to get it done, straight up. They got to get it done. They need a win. But Xavier Legette is out. Jalen Coker, the other wide receiver, he's questionable, right? And then Robert Hunt, the really good guard, he's questionable. They got some questionable guys like Jadeveon Clowney and Ashawn Robinson on the D-line. For me, I got to go with the Arizona Cardinals. I think they win this game, but it's going to be close. It's going to be like a 21-20, 23-20 type of situation. I think they win. Titans, Colts. I like the Colts at home here, guys. The Colts are extremely better at home than they are on the road. The Titans, on the other hand, just are not playing good football. They're just not a good football team. Will Levis just got benched. Looks like it's going to be Mason Rudolph there, guys. You know, the Colts are only 500 at home, 3-5 on the road. But the Titans, 2-5 on the road, only 1-6 at home. The Titans are really, really bad. The Titans are just bad. Mason Rudolph isn't going to be their savior at all. I'm taking the Colts at home in a must-win game. Another game I really like, Vikings, Seahawks. What is going on with Geno Smith? Is Geno Smith going to be playing? Is he going to... He was a part of that concussion protocol. I'm trying to see... Okay, so Adam Schefter 3 hours ago just said, Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker III are off the injury report and good to go on Sunday versus the Vikings. This is going to be a really good game. The weather in Seattle is never fun to play in, guys. It's just not. I know, Philip, I just put out a post on my channel. So Bovada, the website that I bet on, is down right now. So I can't do the live stream and record my screen so I can go over all my bets. I called them today. I've been talking to the chat all day, trying to get it back. I promise I will get it up as soon as I can. Or if I can't get it on Bovada, I got to figure something else out. Because I live in California, I can't use the big, like DraftKings and FanDuel and MGM and all those good betting websites. I'm not allowed to use them, right? So it's a pain in the ass. I know. I'm sorry, Philip. I will get to it as soon as I possibly can, bro. I promise. All right, guys. So, man, this is a really close game. Vikings or Seahawks? OMG. Where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? Vikings or the Seahawks? I think I'm going to go with the Vikings. They're just a better roster right now. They got a really good defense, exceptionally offensively. I mean, Jamie, that would be awesome, man. I would love to do that. Ignition Casino. I've never even heard that, Rio. A lot of these international brokers, they're kind of suspect. So Bovada, I've been using for years, so I'm a little more comfortable with them. But yeah, it sucks. I've been trying to get on all day. After this live stream, I'm going to try to check again. And if I can get on, I'm going to shoot that real quick. I'm going with the Vikings. Patriots, Buffalo Bills. It's the Buffalo Bills all day. There's not a lot to talk about in this game. The Bills have been putting up an insane amount of points. The Patriots are just the Patriots. They don't have enough power. Division games are always suspect. 14 points is a lot of juice for me. I don't know. I don't want to bet on that game for sure. 49ers, Dolphins. This is a tough one, man. The Dolphins really shit the bed for me last week. Really, really shit the bed. I thought they were going to go out and put a stamp on their playoff hopes by beating the Texans on the road. But Tua played one of the worst games of the season for him. He looked terrible. So, I think I'm going to go with the 49ers. I'm going with the 49ers. Jaguars, Raiders. I did hear that Aiden O'Connell is going to be back playing for the Raiders this week, so that's a step up from Desmond Ridder. Maybe not that much. I like the way Mac Jones has been playing the last few weeks. So, I think I'm going to go with the Jags to beat the Raiders at home. The Raiders have only won 2 games this year against the Browns and the Ravens somehow. Oh my gosh. I just don't see how they win. The Jaguars have actually been playing decent ball. They're 3-11, but the last couple weeks, Mac Jones has looked okay. He's 235 and 2 touchdowns 3 weeks ago. Against the Titans, he didn't play good. 220 yards, 2 picks. And then last week, against the Jets, he played damn good. Best game Mac Jones has played probably as a pro. He's got to stop throwing picks, though. 294 yards, 31 of 46, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I think the Raiders do keep it close. I think this game is probably a fourth quarter game, or if one team turns the ball over a shit ton. Not a game I'm jumping to bet, but a 3-11 team versus a 2-11 team, a lot can happen. Aiden O'Connell is a lot better than the other quarterbacks, and before he got hurt, he was playing pretty damn good. So now that Aiden O'Connell is back 100%, I don't know. I'm going back and forth on this game. I originally picked the Jaguars, but now maybe I like the Raiders a little more. I don't know. This is a tough game. Tough game. But I'll stick with what I said earlier in the week over the Jaguars, but I'm not 100% confident on it. Then we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Dallas Cowboys, guys. You got to go with the Buccaneers. They're rolling right now, man. The Buccaneers are absolutely rolling. They've been playing great football. They've won 4 games in a row. Extremely impressive. Baker Mayfield's rallying the troops. They're scoring points too. 30, 26, 28, 40. Putting up some points. Baker Mayfield is looking great. Putting up points. I'm taking the Buccaneers, man. I love the momentum where it's at right now. I do want to check in on Antoine Winfield and see if he's going to play. Caden Otten is doubtful for the Titans. That's a big loss. But Jalen McMillan, the rookie, he went to Washington. Yeah, he went to Washington. That's what I thought. He's been playing better. The offensive line looks healthy, led by Tristan Wirfs. KJ Britt is doubtful. Antoine Winfield is out. So the defense is still banged up. So the Cowboys can hang up some points. I think this game is pretty close. Maybe you take the Cowboys in 3.5 points. Or what you can do is take the Cowboys by 1.5, get up to +5. I like that. Saints, Packers. It's the Packers all day. The Saints are a mess. I don't know who's going to be starting for them, but it's probably going to be someone terrible. So Spencer Rattler or Jake Maynard or whatever the hell his name is have to go start in the freezing cold in Lambeau. Good luck with that, guys. I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. That's my picks for Week 16. All right, guys, I'm out. I'm going to see if I can get back to this best bets video for my members right now. So we'll catch you guys on the flip side later. Don't forget to like and subscribe.